And I can hear you.
Did you hit record?
I did.
Okay.
I sure did.
Okay. What's on your mind?
It's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
We're on the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
There's a storm rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
Rain coming down.
Yeah.
The rain's kind of stopped a little bit.
The rain has stopped. There's still some thunder.
Yeah,
but
and
the
we just
rain
had
brought
a little,
us out.
We had a little lightning here a minute ago.
We did, yeah. But we heard the rain.
Yeah.
And it had cooled off.
And
So
we love porches in the rain.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like you're a little low for some reason.
I'm a little low.
Yeah.
Am I better?
You're a little low.
Am I a little low? Am I a little low? Is this better?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I tend to like speak like this and you're like this, right?
I'm just,
yeah.
Meek? Is that right? Would you call me meek?
The meek shall inherit the earth.
There you go. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be good to do a little front porch session.
Yeah.
You know, with the storm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can hear the birds have kind of come back out.
That's
a little
really
bit.
all the people are going to be able to hear unless it rolls through again.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some thunder out there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to go on till like 5:15 or so, 5:30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been a hard day.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed a little therapy session. Some therapy on the front porch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a hard day.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's pull that apart a little bit.
Unpack it. Do you want to
unpack
unpack
to unpack
it?
that a little bit?
I hate when people say unpack.
You do?
I really kind of do.
Huh. I wonder why.
It's a pet peeve of mine.
Is it just the word or is it the process that... Because it's an...
No.
Okay.
I think it's just the word. I don't know. There's like... I judge people who say, well, let's unpack that.
Oh, well, that's kind of a shame because that's probably a really healthy thing that maybe they've been taught to do.
Well, I think...
What if they said...
I don't know. I just feel like it's such a buzzword in...
What if they said, well, let's sift through that?
Yeah, I would be
You'd
fine
be
with
okay
that.
with
I don't
that?
think people say sift through that a lot. Even if they just spoke very plainly and said, well, let's process that together. Or
Okay,
let's think
but-
about that. Or let's
okay.
talk about it.
But you don't want it
It's like,
called
yeah,
unpacking.
let's unpack that, you know.
Just as...
Yeah.
Huh.
And I feel like I probably was guilty of saying that at some point. I just feel like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like it's everywhere. People, well, let's unpack that,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Well,
just
what
bugs me.
about the first time that
This is my sin nature. And today I'm heightened because everything is bothering me today. Everything is bothering me today.
Yeah.
I can't let things roll off my back today.
Right. I've
And I
been
don't
telling
know.
you to be a duck today.
Be a duck, right. I
And
understand.
you've had a hard time
Right,
doing that.
right.
So, well, I was going to say the first time I went to my counselor
Right.
and kind of just threw up on her with, a whole bunch of stuff. And she was like, well, it's like you've just got some piles and we just need to sort of sort through the piles and straighten them up a little bit.
Yeah, I understand
And then
that.
we spent a day on a pile and another day on another pile. And, 3 or 4 weeks, I felt like I had really kind of
Sorted through some piles.
sorted through the piles and felt really good about kind of straightening up
Yeah.
my thoughts about those things. So
I understand. There was a little lightning. wasn't there?
yeah.
I understand all of that.
Yeah. You just don't care for unpack.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's my sin nature. Like, I'm
Okay.
bothered
It's
by
just-
it. I'm
you're
just
perturbed.
annoyed. I'm perturbed. I judge
Prior
people.
to today, you've been perturbed by
Right.
unpack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
we all got them. We all got those words.
Yeah.
that-
Well, and I don't
Right.
know. I shouldn't be. What do I care what other people say?
That's
You
right.
know, or why should I care?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an offensive
I do care, but why should I?
process or
Right.
word or,
Right. No, no.
So,
That's a nice breeze.
yeah.
I snapped at our teenager. Maybe not snapped might not be the right word. I was just very on edge. On our ride to church, I was very on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it, I think is being in that middle seat physically and not like I felt like we were doing 100 miles an hour.
Right.
I felt like he was jumping ramps like the Duke boys, running away from Roscoe P. Coltrane
Right.
on the way to church because, obviously he's 15. He's a permitted driver, not a licensed driver yet.
Yeah.
And I chose to let you sit in the front seat. Mm-hmm. And we have a long, older, I don't know what it is, 12 years old now. It's a long wheelbase SUV. We got a lot of kids, and we've realized that when the further
like
back
a
you go,
boat
the
back
further
there.
back you go, like you hit you go over train tracks, it's like, oh
Boom,
man,
boom,
like,
boom, 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 boom,
like you're bouncing around in that thing.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it
was in the
does
middle.
feel like you take curves on
It
two
does.
wheels.
It does.
feels like you were going 80 when you're going
Right.
40.
It's so weird because you're only 3 feet? Mm-hmm. You're maybe 3 feet in front of me, 4 feet in front of me. Mm-hmm. But it
feels
just,
different.
I was like nervous about that.
Yeah.
And then just, just normal.
You just were
Teenagers
annoyed
speak.
really quickly and couldn't let it roll off.
I couldn't let it roll off
Yeah.
of me. I had to respond. I was just like, why?
Yeah.
Just keep this inside. Why? This is not a big deal,
Yeah.
but I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up, I feel like kind of snipping at him, and which by the way, I apologized for.
You
I went
did?
up to his room because he was laying down. I went upstairs, and I apologized to him for that. And I
Okay.
told him that was not right of me.
Good.
And, I even...
Did he? Here's my question: did he receive it? Because a
He-
lot of
yeah, he did.
times
Well,
he's like, "It's fine."
I know, but he sat up. He kind of smiled a little bit.
Good.
He said, "It's fine." I said, "No, it's not fine.
Right. You got to
It's not
receive
fine.
it. Yeah.
It's not okay."
Yeah.
And my my main snip to him was I kind of reminded him of a past infraction
Correct.
he
Yeah.
had made.
Yeah.
Which, I told him, I don't want people hanging my sins over my head.
Right.
And I don't want to be a dad who hangs his sins over his
Right.
head.
Yeah.
And I was like, that wasn't right. I messed up plenty. I don't want people reminding me of it when they get mad at me, when they get frustrated at me. If every time you got frustrated at me, you reminded me of something I did in the past that,
Right.
well, that wouldn't be good. I wouldn't
Right.
feel like you were a trustworthy relationship. Like,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute. Every time we have conflict, you bring this up and
Right. Yeah.
and so I apologized to him for that and asked him to forgive me, and he did.
Good.
He did receive it well. He
Good.
started off with, "It's fine," but then
Good.
I was like, "It's not fine. It's not okay."
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Well, so two things I want to say
Yeah.
to that. If you want to unpack this a little.
I don't want to. I'll discuss it with you. I'll process it with you. I'll talk about it. But let's don't unpack it.
Can we sift through it for just a second?
I don't want to consider it luggage. We're not- it's not baggage.
Well, the first thing that is sort of the silver lining, I think, as a parent, when we mess up, is we do get to model for them
Sure.
repentance
Right.
and grace
Right.
and forgiveness.
I understand.
Because that's important. They need to see what that looks like so that, Lord willing, they can do that too.
Yeah.
They're going to blow it with their
I know.
kids.
I know.
And so that has helped me over the years when I do lose it to go, it is important for them to see it.
Yeah.
I'm human, but also how do I handle it? So I love that you did that. And the second thing I was going to ask is, do you think when you bring up old things to people, do you think that's connected to maybe some unforgiveness on your part?
Yeah.
Some old
Yeah, it probably
unforgiveness
is. It
that's
probably is.
there that
Yeah.
you need to
For sure.
work through?
Yeah, for sure. I
Okay.
mean,
Because it is hard. Our sin nature wants to
yes.
throw things
Yes.
back, but if we really do forgive and,
I mean, our kids are good kids. They are normal kids
For
in the
sure.
sense that they are young. They are not, they don't have wisdom. They haven't developed maturity. They don't, we don't always make the
For
right
sure.
decisions.
Yeah.
Why do we expect them to?
right.
But so they're normal in that sense that they mess up. And like, and they don't always handle those mess ups the right way. Like I think you and I are just, whether it's through age, whether it's just through, walking with the Lord a certain amount of time, like we've developed this. I think we're pretty good about ultimately admitting, man, we messed that up. We're sorry. Like, I think we're pretty
But I
good
think
at
that's
that.
taken a long time.
Oh,
you know?
I don't.
I
I'm
mean,
not. I don't disagree with
Yeah.
you, but I'm just. So it's hard for me when they do mess up and they don't repent of that, and that I don't know. It's hard for
Yeah.
me, and so there are moments when I think about past infractions. I'm like, dadgummit. Like they never even came and said, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry for that. That's hard. That's hard for me.
Yeah.
That's hard
It's like
for
you're
me.
still waiting on that. You need to.
Yeah. And we're way past it.
Yeah.
It's
It's been judged.
it has
It's
been
done.
It's been dealt with.
Yep.
It's been
Yeah.
why am I still, I think that's part of it. And then, and we didn't talk about this, but at church today, someone came up to me. Wow. That was like a piece of, it's almost like I swallowed a bug or something
Oh,
right
no.
there.
Do you
I don't
think it was
I
a
did, though.
spider?
Why would you say that? Now I'm looking around like, is a spider going to crawl down in my mouth?
I have saved you from 2 spiders.
Yeah, but somebody
crawling
came
down.
up to me at church today, and we were catching up,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Hey, we just realized somebody lives in our neighborhood," and I was like, "Oh, who?" And they said the name of this person, and this person and I have we've just never really gotten along.
Okay.
Just never really gotten along.
Gotten along or just connected? Like, those are kind of 2 different things.
And again, this is like my candid sin nature. I've never liked this person.
Okay.
I've always had a very strong opinion about this person.
Okay.
And it's nobody that goes to our church, and
Okay.
we're not in any type of real relationship
Circle with
this.
him.
No,
Yep.
no, not
Okay.
at all. But it just, I think I handled it well. In fact, I think I answered the question like, "Hey, I'm sure so and so is a nice person. We've just, for whatever reason, we've never really connected. It's just never lined up, and that's okay. Different personality styles, different.
Yeah.
We're not all going to be best friends, And I was very nice, but it just, for whatever reason, it's like it hit something
kinda
in
hooked
me.
into you?
Yeah, that was like, and so me being a complete idiot.
Did you go to social media?
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
install social media on?
No,
How did you-
it's on my iPhone. Sits around, like I'm not actively on my phone,
Right.
but I have been. We keep Venmo on there to pay certain people. We keep the Airbnb app on there.
Yeah.
Well, since June, I've been uploading these little videos from podcasts that we've been doing.
Okay.
And so it's there. And I have not been actively going and like looking and scrolling. I haven't done
Right.
that. But today I did. Today I searched that
Oh
person.
man,
And like I saw
stuff.
and they're hanging out with all these other people.
Yeah.
That
Annoy you?
yes.
Okay.
that and it's like, oh, and it just
Wow. What part of the morning did you do this? I'm curious.
well, that was this afternoon.
Oh,
that
it was
this
here.
afternoon.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you
because
did it maybe
that person got
church.
mentioned to me at church.
Okay.
And it was just like, it was so foolish. It was like one bad decision after
You know
another
what that
after
was?
another. What?
That was the enemy sitting at your table.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep, you're exactly
He
right.
was telling you what for, and you were just going, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was buying into it. I
You
was
were.
just eating that plate of food.
Oh, let me read about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just sitting there going, like, and then because this person is very, like, I'm just not attracted to personalities that are very, like, traditionally this is going to sound so dumb, like traditionally business minded, where they're just all about this is quality leadership, and if you're not leading, just like it's, if you read to lead, and it's just all about leadership and leadership and leader and leadership. It's always driven me crazy. It's always driven me crazy.
Okay.
And this person's very all about that.
Okay.
A lot of talk about leading and leadership, and it's great to be a good leader, and you good leaders, and it's just it just grates on me.
Okay.
But then I start thinking about it like, well, are they right, and am I wrong? Mm-hmm. Is my way of doing it wrong?
Doing what?
And this is the stupidity of the way, like, the mind the way you just let the enemy in, and just life even.
Oh, so then you start comparing.
Yeah. Well, like, exactly. Well, are they doing it right and I'm doing it wrong? But then I really kind of quickly realized what was going on, and I was like, first of all, this is not a game. Life is not a game to be won or lost.
You're not in competition.
We're not in competition with one another.
Yeah.
Until this morning, I mean,
you don't run with.
This person had not crossed my mind in years, probably since the last time I, ran into them out. I'm positive I'm not crossing this person's mind. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
How am I here now comparing my life and the decisions that I've made to the decisions that someone else has made who I don't even know?
Right. Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on in their life. They have no idea what's going on. Why? I'm genuinely content in my life. Why am I now in this like 10 or 15 minute trap of comparing myself to someone who I have no relationship with? And it just, it instantly kind of pulled me back. I was like, well, okay, I let this thing back into my life just a little bit for something. And here it is being used.
The tool.
Yes.
Yeah, the
of
social media tool.
This tool to go spy on and compare myself. What?
Yeah.
What am I? It was almost like I flipped the funnel like, whoa.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
It was just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That, it wasn't long. It was 10 or 15 minutes. But it was like I willingly went down this path, and it's just like this thing is there to just, oh yeah, come on in, come on over here, yeah, come on in. The water's fine. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I've had those moments for sure. I've had those people, that you go look at, and
but why?
You just get hooked
Why
into
do
comparison.
Yeah, we're not in relationship
judgment,
with these,
and you got no basis and no relationship.
And what right do I have
Yeah.
to judge the way someone else is embracing leadership or not?
Right.
What does it matter to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just felt once I realized it, I just felt like a fool.
I think that's good.
Well,
kind of sounds like there was a little spiritual battle going on right there.
Yeah.
Because the enemy was definitely whispering to you, and you know what I mean, feeding you lies, and and you were kind of buying in and walking down that lane a little bit, and then, but you kind of were able to pull out and recognize wait, this is, so the spirit in you were, battling that. So I think we all do it. We all have it. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to exist with other people because we're just all messy.
Yeah, it was. That was just a weird one. Like, I'm not in.
And so you were already fighting being grumpy.
Right.
Which probably was the open door.
Yeah. Oh, definitely it was.
Because it was just a little bit of, let's throw in some.
Yeah. And I noticed, and you noticed it too.
Okay.
In worship this morning, like I was.
Oh yeah, you weren't even singing.
I was shut down.
Yeah, you were.
I was mad.
Yeah.
I was madder than a wet hen.
Hey, we know what that means too. By the way,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was mad. I was mad at him. I was mad at I was just kind of like I was grumpy.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, and I will say, I was actively praying the whole time. I was acknowledging it.
Good.
And I was like, God, listen, I'm mad.
Yeah.
And I think you're big enough to handle that.
Yeah.
And you know, but I'm mad right now.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was just digging my heels in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just such an odd, weird.
It's like an adult temper tantrum.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel
for
like
the
for
Lord,
sure.
man, he is so kind and patient to just let us kick our feet up on the floor and
Right.
kick around
Right.
and whine, and you know what I mean?
But and like a little extra layer, you know, it was like this open door of, okay, I wasn't a duck. I didn't handle that right. There was probably a little immediate guilt of like, I knew I didn't handle the ride to church right.
So
I knew
there's
I didn't
another
handle
little
that right.
open door.
So it's like this, and I'm just like, I'm just clenched mouth, and I'm not going to. God, I'm mad, you know. And then this person mentions this other person, and so then I go, when I get home, I go into that trap, I go to that comparison, and I realize that they are, and I'm going to pause it so I can give you the person's name.
Oh wow, maybe I should just keep on not knowing.
Okay, but they're very actively involved
on social media.
Well, with some past relationships that we have.
Okay.
So then that was another, seeing a person,
somebody that brings some emotion up.
that brings some emotion up from some past, you know, wounds that we've got.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it just snowballed on me.
So it's kind of like I can see that door, you know, with like one little thing kind of inch the door open.
Yep.
Another little thing inch the door open. Another little thing inch the door open. And next thing we know,
this iPhone kicked it down.
The enemies just walked through the door. And he's
know.
pulled up a seat at your table.
Yeah.
So.
Which references a Louis Giglio book.
Right. Which we just found on the bookshelves yesterday. We were moving books.
Right.
So.
And
I loved that reference.
I loved the reference. I think
and some chapters in there.
Yeah, maybe
were
the
really
first
good.
chapter or two, I think were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird Sunday.
Yeah. Well, it is true. Like everything's a battle, and the enemy's after our mind. He's after our heart.
Yep.
And so he just sees a weakness.
Yep.
And goes in for it. You know what I mean? So. But you recognized it, and you kind of battled it with your God armor, you know?
Yeah.
So.
It did remind me at the end and I've always believed this, and I believe, I mean, I know Scripture talks a lot about gratitude and having a grateful heart, and I remember Dave would always say, gratitude is like one of the most attractive qualities in a human being, and I do believe a lot of, I mean, this is going to sound so simple, but like a lot of gratitude, or I'm sorry, a lot of contentment starts with filling my heart with gratitude, reminding myself of all of the ways that he has blessed me. You know, I'm not the man I used to be. He has rescued me. My life is different than it used to be. We do have a great marriage. We do have good, healthy kids.
Yeah.
We do love our church. We do have great friendships. Like there's so much to be grateful for. When I really pack all that in, and fill myself up with that, I find there's no room for this other stuff. I don't have the brain space for it. My heart's already filled with gratitude, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a hard knocks life.
It's a hard knocks life for us.
I just actually ran across that verse this morning when I was doing my quiet time, and I had written
It's a Hard
down
Knocks
recently.
Life?
No, not that one, but it was talking about
Is that Annie chapter 1? No.
like give thanks in all things,
Yeah.
for this is God's will for you. You know, and we used to talk a lot about, I feel like as maybe as younger Christians, like, well, what is God's will? Like, there's this will and there's this not will, you know? And to so clearly say gratitude is his will for you. You know what I mean? In all things, you know, and praise God, he is at work in the hard things.
Maybe Sundays should be like our Sabbath sessions, you know?
Our gospel hour.
Yeah. The Sunday afternoon gospel hour, front porch gospel hour.
Oh, I like it.
The Sunday afternoon front porch gospel hour.
I love that.
Brought to you by Mojitos. Not today, but maybe some other day.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Yeah. So what is your takeaway? You've kind of shared where you were at, where you messed up, what, you know, you kind of got pulled out of it, but what's your takeaway?
I think I need to ride in the front seat from now on.
Yes, for sure.
It just
sets you up better.
It does. It sets me up a little bit better for success.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can deal with some of the, you know.
Yeah, because I didn't even flinch in most of what you were freaking out about.
I understand.
And I'm usually, I am the flincher.
No, I understand that. But then it's just like you know, we've talked about our car specifically with the three boys being their age, 15, almost 13, and 7.
It's loud.
It's loud and chaotic in our car, especially on the way to church, where I feel like, you know, the enemy is trying to poke at us. Probably,
Sunday mornings are.
Yeah,
they're
hard.
Really
they're
challenging.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, I'm trying not to just go, everybody shut up. Everybody just shut up. You know, I'm trying hard not to do that. Yeah. And everybody's talking and jawing and, you know, complaining. And they took this and he tried to give me that. And, you know, it's like, and I find.
Oh, yeah. There was like a fight over sausage and biscuits this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh my goodness. Plenty of sausage and biscuits to go around.
Plenty
guys.
to be, yeah.
But I just find that if I'm up front and I'm not already on edge physically because of the ride, I'm set up to receive that input a little bit better.
You got a place to put that in the bucket when the bucket's not full.
Okay, guys, don't freak out. Everybody not freak out. Right.
You know. Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't want to be a dad who zings my kids with their past mistakes by reminding them of their past mistakes. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I've traditionally, if I'm ever like confronted with the mention of a person that I just have never really enjoyed the company of. Normally I think I handled it really well today. I'm very positive. Oh yeah, so and so's a great guy. You know, tell him I said hello. Like, you
can kind of keep the surface.
Exactly, and I'm never the guy going like, oh really? Well, let me tell you about that. I'm never that guy.
All right, good.
But normally I don't let it
hook into you.
Hook into me for some reason.
Yeah.
Normally it's just like, okay, hey.
Yeah.
You know, good luck to you. Hope they're doing well. Awesome. And I don't think about it again. But for what, you know, I just think I just need to, I need to just and those moments are so rare. It's not like that happens, you know, that is such a rare occurrence. But if and when it does, maybe even just to go, hey Lord, I hope they're doing well. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. And move on.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is like just the power of that phone and the doors it opens to comparison, mostly comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, to look at a few dumb photos and question, am I doing life right?
Right. Yeah.
Based on the photos of someone I'm not in relationship with. Yeah. I do not know the state of their lives. Yeah. But I'm questioning everything about
for sure
mine, a life that I love.
Yeah.
I'm questioning everything about it.
Right.
That is so foolish.
Yeah. Yeah, social media is it's sharp,
rough, man. And
it is sharp, and we got to figure out how to handle it.
Yeah.
with care and with the way we intend to use it.
Yes.
Like a sharp knife, but you got to be careful.
And
that's one thing.
I'm a 45-year-old grown man.
Yeah.
Who certainly has faults and is a sinner and doubts and all these things, but like I think most of the time I'm pretty I think I have a genuine self-confidence about me that I don't need to be comparing and so it makes me think, well, man, that bit into me so easily today. I let that in so easily. Kids on social media?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, and they say like the number one issue with that is comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And, well, they have this and I don't have that, and they're doing this. I didn't get invited to that. And it's like, if it hooked into me that quickly,
right?
Like, good gracious, what is it doing to our kids?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is why we don't, as of right now, our kids are not on social media.
They're not. Yeah.
And oh man,
it's
such a weird life.
Yeah. Technology is a can be good.
Of course,
be used for good. Can be used for bad.
Yep.
And so it is something we've got to be intentional about.
Anything else for this Front Porch Sabbath Gospel Hour therapy session?
Well, how are you feeling now? Do you feel like you got some of it out?
Yeah, and I even think sitting here and talking with you about it, because like we just hadn't had the opportunity I hadn't had the chance to even tell you like, oh, this person got brought up today, and then that led me to this, and I saw this part, and it was like it was just a train wreck in my brain, But I think even just the opportunity to talk about it and acknowledge it for what it is, to unpack it. It was really helpful to unpack it.
It was, right?
Super helpful. I just laid the bag out there, unzipped it, opened it up, unpacked everything.
There you go. Listen, like there's power in telling our story. And so even though that was a very small piece, like there was power in just getting it out, releasing, like it's a way for the mind and the body and the heart to process it, get it out, and hopefully it's out and it's gone, and you're not still like
I don't feel like I am. I don't feel like I am. I really don't feel like I am. But curiously enough, now that I'm sitting here thinking about the word unpack, I go, well, think about this, okay? And I don't even know if this is intentional.
Okay.
If we unpack it, it doesn't become baggage.
That's true. It gets put away,
that's
right?
Deep.
Gets
that's
processed
deep.
and put away where it
we
belongs.
put it away where it goes.
Yeah.
And it's just an empty piece of, it's not baggage we're carrying around.
A little Pentecost moment right there.
Yeah, so I'm glad we unpacked that. And I'm going to start saying unpack about everything now. I've totally changed my opinion about that in 30 minutes. One thing I do want to do, I had this idea today. I think maybe... I was about to say every Friday, but then I think let's just start with this Friday. I just want to start with this Friday, and I want to answer some questions that one of our 13 or 14 listeners might have. So if
we might have dozens, you thought.
Well,
maybe there's 24, 25 of them.
Yeah, I mean there are more than that, but it's still a small number.
Yeah.
But if anyone does have questions and they would like to hear us answer them together and offer opinions on these things. And I would say that could be a wide range of things. It could be, what are some things that you feel like you could get questions about that you would feel good
I'm curious
about?
What you think, what people have heard.
Right.
To have brought a question up into their minds.
Right.
So.
Well, the things that I thought of that just naturally come to mind when I think about questions we might get asked is it could be about like food recipes.
Okay.
Or it could be about recipes, cocktail recipes, food recipes. It could be about like travel recommendations. Have you guys been here? Would you recommend a place here? Or it could be about raising kids. Could be about marriage. Could be about I don't know. It could be about
we know a little bit about a lot of
about
things.
a lot of things. Jack of all trades, master of none.
If there's any questions, we'll read them.
Yeah, we'll read them, and we may
And
even say,
if we got any answers for them,
yeah.
then sure, that could be fun.
So I think we're going to do that this Friday, which is the 9th, I believe. Is that right? Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
10th is Saturday.
Because the 2nd was our anniversary, and that was Friday.
Okay.
So plus 7 would be the 9th. So June 9th, we're going to be doing that. I would say if anyone out there is listening and has a question that you would like to ask us, email holler, HOLLER, at madesouth.com. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Holler at madesouth.com. Or you could pop on Instagram at madesouth and send me a DM. And, I'll try to check it before Friday. Or no, I definitely will check it before Friday if anybody does that. But I think that would be fun. And I'm not drinking for the next, I think, 3.5 weeks or something like that. But I was thinking about calling it Old Fashioned Friday. Maybe I make you an old fashioned. You like old fashions.
Oh, so you'll lift the fast for
No, not
me
for me.
for Friday?
Oh, I didn't think you were
I thought
on
I
a
was
fast.
joining you. I thought you'd asked me
I
to
had
join
no
you,
idea. I
so-
did not know. I don't recall that. I did
Okay.
not know that.
Yeah,
I was not aware of that.
I thought it was a we thing. Often you say we when you mean me, meaning you, but you say
That's only
we.
when doing hard things. Like, we need to go do it. Well, I mean, you need to go do it.
Well, that's right. That's true too. But I thought it was like, I think we need to, But I guess you're right because
Well-
hey, I'm not giving up gluten and
I know.
for the
and
month,
I am.
and
I
yeah,
am.
yeah.
So, and I'm going
Yeah.
to stick to that. I want to do that. But I'd be happy to make you an. I honestly didn't expect you to join me in that. So,
Okay, interesting.
yeah. You weren't avoiding gluten this morning when you were eating
That's
all
what
that
I
mac and
said, but I
cheese.
thought that I was on like the alcohol fast for the
Oh,
month
oh.
with you.
Well, it's up to you. I didn't expect that.
Okay, so you might be calling it Old Fashioned Friday.
Yeah, and I would make you an old fashioned, and we would sit on the porch and talk
And
about
we would
those.
talk.
We would answer those questions.
some questions.
Right.
Okay,
You want to do that?
sure.
Okay.
Today.
So we'll do an Old Fashioned Friday this Friday, June 9th. If you have questions, holler at madesouth.com or go on to Instagram at madesouth and send us a DM, and we'll answer those questions on Friday. All right?
All right, that'll be fun.
And until then, thank you for allowing me to vent a little bit and share with you what my hard Sunday was like. And I love you and I appreciate you.
Well, you are welcome. It's good to unpack those things.
I'm going to let that one slide. All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right, bye-bye.